Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today we're going to be talking about all the books coming out in October. So it's time for another new releases video. This time we're talking about books coming out in October. You might be new here, you might know, probably you know, but every month I review a book that you guys voted for, a brand new release coming out that month. So if any of these particularly sound really good to you and you'd love to know what I thought about them, which why, but okay, just pop them in the comments or vote in the Twitter poll that I'm gonna link down below. Just have fun with it. You know, maybe it's a book you don't care about, but you're like, that sounds weird, I want to know what that's about. Well, there you go, you can vote on it. But without further ado, today we have 8 books coming out in October, plus 2 short stories or novellas that are kind of a bonus. I wanted to talk about them even though maybe probably not review material, but I'm still really excited about them. So let's just kick it off. I am such a good month as well. I just love it when the list just makes itself. I don't have to dig deep. I just know what I want to read because so many cool books are coming out. That's my favorite. The first book I want to read in October is Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. So this book is coming out on October 5th and it's a YA fantasy retelling of a story that I don't actually know. So there you go. I think it has to do with more Eastern European / German mythology, and it sounds really dark and really interesting. So this is the synopsis. Vanya Schmidt knows that no gift is freely given, not even a mother's love, and she's on the hook for one hell of a debt. Vanya, the adopted goddaughter of Death and Fortune, was Princess Giselle's dutiful servant up until a year ago. That was when Vanya's otherworldly mothers demanded a terrible price for their care, and Vanya decided to steal her future back by stealing Giselle's life for herself. The real Giselle is left a penniless nobody, while Vanya uses an enchanted string of pearls to take her place. Now, Vanya leads a lonely but lucrative double life as a princess and a jewel thief, charming nobility while emptying their coffers to fund her great escape. Then, one heist away from freedom, Vanya crosses the wrong god and is cursed to an untimely end, turning into jewels, stone by stone, for her greed. Vanya has just 2 weeks to figure out how to break her curse and make her getaway. And with a feral guardian half-god, Giselle's sinister fiancé, and an overeager junior detective on Vanya's tail, she'll have to pull the biggest grift yet to save her own life. That sounds absolutely crazy. I feel like when you see the cover, that's maybe not the vibe you're getting. The cover makes it seem ooh, it's so dark and stuff, but this sounds kind of quirky. So I don't know which impression is the right one, but I am sure excited to find out. And this one's super fun. It's also by the author of The Merciful Crow, I think, duology, which I've not read, but I heard if you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. So I guess maybe this one's the same. I'm very, very, very excited about that one, and I love the cover as well. It looks super cool. The second book I want to read is The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. This one's coming out on October 5th as well, and it's an adult historical fiction horror. It was historical fiction, but it's also horror, so I said it's a historical fiction horror. I don't know. It sounds good though. So, practical, unassuming Jane Shoringfield has done the calculations and decided that the most secure path forward is this: a husband in a marriage of convenience who will allow her to remain independent and occupied with meaningful work. Her first choice, the dashing but reclusive Dr. Augustine Lawrence, agrees to her proposal with only one condition: that she must never visit Lindridge Hall, his crumbling family manor outside of town. Yet on her wedding night, an accident strands her at his door in a pitch-black rainstorm, and she finds him changed. Gone is the bold, courageous surgeon, and his place is terrified, paranoid man. One who cannot tell reality from nightmare, and fears Jane is an apparition come to haunt him. By morning, Augustine is himself again, but Jane knows something is deeply wrong at Lindridge Hall, and with the man she has so hastily bound her safety to. Set in a dark, mirror version of post-war England, Starling crafts a new kind of gothic horror from the bones of the beloved canon. The Crimson Peak-inspired story assembles, then upends every expectation set in place by Shirley Jackson and Rebecca, and will leave readers shaken, desperate to begin again as soon as they are finished. I mean, pay the person who wrote the synopsis well, because Bloody hell, that sounds so exciting. I am super hyped for this one. I love gothic fiction. I recently read a really cool one, and that one was set in present day. So I'm actually really excited about the prospect of reading something that's actually set in the past. And like Crimson Peak, okay, I've never watched Crimson Peak because I'm too scared, but I love the idea and aesthetic of it, and maybe one day I'll watch it. If there's a book which I'll be less scared of, that sounds kind of perfect to me, no? That sounds really good. Like, we're meant to be. The next book I want to read is Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. This one's also coming out on October 5th, and this is a YA fantasy. So Margaret Rogerson is the author of Enchantment of Ravens as well as The Sorcery of Thorns. I read both, loved Sorcery of Thorns, enjoyed Enchantment of Ravens. So this is exciting. This is her first series because the other two were standalones, and I like her style. It's kind of like more easygoing than like super serious. I don't know how to say that. I don't know. It just felt like nice, adventurous. The other books. So I'm excited about this one. This is the synopsis. The dead of Lottery do not rest. Artemisia is training to be Grey's sister, a nun who cleanses the bodies of the deceased so that their souls can pass on. Otherwise, they will rise as spirits with a ravenous hunger for the living. She would rather deal with the dead than the living, who trade whispers about her scarred hands and troubled past. When her convent is attacked by possessed soldiers, Artemisia defends it by awakening an ancient spirit bound to a saint's relic. It is a revenant, a malevolent being that threatens to possess her the moment she drops her guard. Wielding its extraordinary power, almost consumes her. But death has come to Lottery, and only a Vespertine, a priestess trained to wield a high relic, has any chance of stopping it. With all knowledge of Vespertine's loss to time, Artemisia turns to the last remaining expert for help, the Revenant itself. As she unravels a sinister mystery of saints, secrets, and dark magic, her bond with the Revenant grows, and when a hidden evil begins to surface, she discovers that facing this enemy might require her to betray everything she has been taught to believe, if the Revenant doesn't betray her first. Again, sounds exciting. I have all the faith in this author. I really like her books, and I think maybe they're more like light fun than like, I don't know, that's my opinion, but fun nonetheless, like so much fun. Yeah, I really love her books, so I'm really excited for that one. The next book is The City Beautiful by Aden Polydoros, and this one's also coming out on October 5th, so a busy day. And it's a YA historical fantasy with LGBTQ plus characters. I'm pretty sure it's Jewish inspired, or like it's Jewish characters, something like that. Chicago, 1893. For Alton Rosen, this is the land of opportunity, and he dreams of the day he'll have enough money to bring his mother and sisters to America, freeing them from the oppression they face in his native Romania. But when Alter's best friend, Yakov, becomes the latest victim in a long line of murdered Jewish boys, his dreams begin to slip away. While the rest of the city is busy celebrating the World's Fair, Alter is now living a nightmare. Possessed by Yakov's the book, he is plunged into a world of corruption and deceit, and thrown back into the arms of a dangerous boy from his past. A boy who means more to Alter than anyone knows. Now, with only days to spare until the book takes over Alter's body completely, the two boys must race to track down the killer, before the killer claims them next. I've heard a lot of good things about it on Twitter, especially from gay men, so I feel like if they enjoy it, that's awesome sign, and I really wanna check it out. It sounds really good, and I would love to read a bit more about like Jewish characters and stuff, because that's something I've not read about at all, and I feel like as a Polish person it'd be fun to do so, or any person really. The next book is Jade Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan. So that one's coming out on October 12th, and it's a YA fantasy also with LGBTQ plus characters. It has a very short synopsis. It says, Girls of Piper and Fire meets the Tiger at Midnight in this stunning debut inspired by Chinese mythology with rich magic and an epic slow burn romance. The actual synopsis is, in an empire on the brink of war, Anne is no one with no past and no family. Alton is a lost heir, his future stolen away as a child. When they meet, Alton sees in Anne a path to reclaiming the throne. Anne sees a way to finally unlock her past and understand her arcane magical abilities, but they may have to pay a far deadlier price than either could have imagined. The next book is The Keeper of Night by Kylie Lee Baker. So this one's coming out on October 12th as well, and it's a YA historical fantasy. This one, I like the cover. I just like the cover. But this is the synopsis. Half British Reaper, half Japanese Shingami, Ren Scarborough has been collecting souls in London's streets for centuries, expected to obey the harsh hierarchy of the Reapers who despise her. Ren conceals her emotions and avoids her tormentors as best as she can. When her failure to control her Shinigami abilities drives Ren out of London, she flees to Japan to seek the acceptance she's never gotten from her fellow Reapers. Accompanied by a younger brother, the only being on Earth to care for her, Ren enters the Japanese underworld to serve the goddess of death, only to learn that here too she must prove herself worthy. Determined to earn respect, Ren accepts an impossible task. Find and eliminate 3 dangerous Yakai demons, and learns how far she'll go to claim her place at Death's side. Exciting, some Japanese mythology, folklore, I love that. I don't know what Shinigami is. I thought Reapers were like a Japanese concept, but no, maybe it's not actually. Is it? No. But it sounds exciting, I'm sure I'll learn if I read it. Next up is Within These Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. So this one's coming out on October 19th, and it's a fantasy retelling. It says Kirsten White meets Tommy Adeyemi in this Ethiopian-inspired debut fantasy retelling of Jane Eyre. So it's a Ethiopian-inspired retelling of Jane Eyre, which sounds fascinating. I feel like Jane Eyre gets a lot of retellings. It must really like resonate with people. Andromeda is a Deptera, an exorcist hired to cleanse households of the evil eye. When a handsome young heir named Magnus Rochester reaches out to hire her, Andromeda quickly realizes this is a job like no other, with horrifying manifestations at every turn, and that Magnus is hiding far more than she has been trained for. Death is most likely outcome if she stays, but leaving Magnus to live out his curse alone isn't an option. Evil may roam the castle's halls, but so does a burning desire. Okay, someone fell for someone real quick. But okay, you do you, boo. And the last full-length, like, big book that I'm excited about is Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuzniar, or Kuzniar. And this one is coming out on October 28th, and it's a YA historical fantasy. So that's very exciting. Well, firstly, the cover just appealed to me so much. It's really beautiful, but it's also a retelling of Nutcracker. It says it's for fans of Toymakers, Caraval, and The Bear and the Nightingale. Haven't read the 2 others, but Bear and the Nightingale is awesome and I love it. And I don't know, Nutcracker is such a beautiful story. Maybe not, I don't know if it's a story, but I love the, like, watching the ballet and Barbie movie, and I just think it's such beautiful costumes and all of that, so I'm excited to read it in a book form because it sounds really good. And like I said, the cover, beautiful. Okay, this is a very long synopsis, but let's do this. Whew. There's nothing Marietta Steele loves more than ballet, but after Christmas her dreams will be over as she is obligated to take her place in Edwardian society. While she is chafing against such suffocating traditions, a mysterious man purchases a neighboring townhouse. Dr. Drosselmeyer is a charming but calculating figure who wins over the rest of the Steele family with his enchanting toys and wondrous mechanisms. When Drosselmeyer constructs an elaborate set for Marietta's final ballet performance, she discovers it carries a magic all of its own. On the stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve, she is transported to a snowy forest, where she encounters danger at every turn. Ice giants, shadow goblins, and the shrieking mist all lurk amidst the firs and frozen waterfalls and ice cliffs. After being rescued by the Butterscotch Eye captain of the King's Guard, she is escorted to the frozen Sugar Palace. At once, Marietta is enchanted by its glittering world of glamorous gowns, gingerbread houses, miniature reindeer, and the most delicious confectionery. Oh my gosh.
But all is not as it seems, and Marietta is soon trapped in a sumptuous palace by the sadistic King Gelum, who claims her as his own. She is confined to a gilded prison with his other pets, Delara, whose words are as sharp as her teeth, and Priolpata, a princess from another land. Marietta must forge an alliance with the two women to carve a way free from this sugar-coated but treacherous world and back home to follow her dreams. Yet, in a hedonistic world brimming with rebellion and a forbidden romance that risk everything, such a path will never be easy.
I feel like they should hire whoever wrote the synopsis for whatever I said was a good synopsis, because bloody hell. Hope the book is more concise, eh? Okay, and then two short stories that I am super excited about, or maybe novellas. I'm not actually sure what. I think it's more of a novella. I don't know. Whatever constitutes each. But there are two that I'm super excited about. Very different from each other, but really fun. So the first book is A Spindle, Splintered by Alix E. Harrow. So this one's coming out on October 5th, and it's an adult fantasy with LGBTQ plus characters. And Alix E. Harrow is the author of $1,000 of January, as well as Past and Future Witches, whatever that was called, and one of my all-time favorite authors. This is her third book I'll be reading, and if I love that one, that means like I've loved all of her books. $1,000 of January is such a special story in my heart. I don't know, it just really resonated with me. And then Past and Future Witches, I also really love that book. So I have all the faith. This one sounds amazing. I'm definitely buying a physical version because the author posted on her Twitter and she did like a flip through and it has illustrations and stuff. So I am so excited. Super hyped for that one. I'm definitely getting it. I cannot wait. This is the synopsis. It's Zinnia Gray's 21st birthday, which is extra special because it's the last birthday she'll ever have. When she was young, an industrial accident left Zinnia with a rare condition. Not much is known about her illness, just that no one has lived past 21. Her best friend Charm is intent on making Zinnia's last birthday special, with a full Sleeping Beauty experience, complete with a tower and a spinning wheel. But when Zinnia pricks her finger, something strange and unexpected happens, and she finds herself falling through worlds with another Sleeping Beauty, just as desperate to escape her fate. So yes, it's a Sleeping Beauty retelling, you guessed it. I'm super excited. Sounds so good. Okay, next one is Nothing by Blackened Thief by Cassandra Khaw. So this one is coming out on October 19th and it's an adult horror novel and novella. It's a short story, but yeah, it's not the cover though. The cover. I've been on such a horror kick lately. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I want to read all the horror novels. So you know, I don't know what to say. That's not what I was gonna say. I just want to read all the horror, so I'm very excited. I'm actually excited for October. I have so many plans for horror. Oh my god. This is the synopsis. A Hanan-era mansion stands abandoned, its foundations resting on the bones of a bride and its walls packed with the remains of the girls sacrificed to keep her company. It's the perfect wedding venue for a group of thrill-seeking friends. But a night of food, drinks, and games quickly spirals into a nightmare. For lurking in the shadows is the ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart. And she gets lonely down in the dirt. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. So exciting. I don't know. Sounds awesome. So that's it for the books. I hope you enjoyed it. Here are 10 new releases that I think are going to be all amazing. Let me know which ones really spoke to you, which one you want to read, which one you're most excited about. Vote in the Twitter poll. I actually don't have a book that I know I'm going to be reading this month, so I'm super excited to hear your contribution because sometimes I already choose a book, so like I do additional or whatever, but this time I have no clue. So I'm definitely reading a Spindle, but I'm not reviewing properly that one because it's a short story. So I don't know, just tell me which one do you think I should read and review. I am really excited for October. I think it's gonna be so much fun. I have all the witchiness, spookiness, horror planned. So, you know, if you're excited for that, stick around, subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, if you could comment, like, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!